What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Pascal Siakam finally got traded, baby. It's about time. Toronto been waiting too long to do this, but the Pacers come in and snatch him up, and I think the fit is perfect. I like the trade. Honestly, for both sides, I really like it for Indy. Get that number 2 guy. What do you think of Pascal Siakam going to the Indiana Pacers? Does this change the outlook on their season a little bit? Do you think he stays? Do you think he re-signs in free agency? What do you think happens with Spicy P? If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But honestly, I really like the trade. Really like the trade. Let's break down the details right now and explain why. So in the trade, we had Bruce Brown and Jordan Nwora plus 3 first-round picks traded to the Toronto Raptors, right? And then in return, the Pacers get Pascal Siakam and a second-round pick, whatever. So let's just diagnose the trade. Bruce Brown's a quality player, but, you know, it made sense. You have to make the salaries match. Jordan Nwora's all right. There's not, like, nothing special there. The three first round picks is where people are kind of, like, I think, overreacting. Like, what? We traded 3 first-round picks for Siakam? Got to realize those first-round picks are going to be, like, you know, in the 20s. They're going to be somewhere in the 20s. These are not going to be premier top 5 picks that you just traded away. And you got an all-star level player in return. You're going to have to give up some picks to make that happen, which for Toronto, if you hit on these picks and you do your due diligence and, you know, you find the right guys, you can find gems in there for sure. No doubt. But what are the odds you find a Pascal Siakam? Toronto did it once. What are the odds you do it again? It's probably not very high. And if you're the Pacers, you just got a co-star for Tyrese Haliburton. You just got another guy that can not necessarily take the ball out of his hands, but can make plays off of him. He's 22 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists on 52% shooting. So, and I think his fit is really good. It complements a lot of the players because he's not necessarily a floor spacer. Only shoots like 31% from 3. It's not his game. But Haliburton shoots, Turner shoots, Heald shoots. Let's just name a few guys. A lot of the guys on this team can space the floor already. So he's going to be able to eat in the middle of that paint. And then, you know, in the free throw line range, he's going to be able to have a lot of space to make plays. And I think that's going to be helpful off of Haliburton. And I think another thing is that when Haliburton goes to the bench for rest, you have a guy now that is like, you know who your number 1 option is on the floor. You know who it is. It's not a guessing game. It's going to be Spicy P. And this is something that the team defense over the last, 10, 12 games, before that, they were like 28th in the league. They did not play a lick of defense over the last 10, 12 games. I think they're like 16th. So they were trending in the right direction. Now you just added a really good defensive player to your mix where he can play the 3, he can play the 4. You can kind of mix him around, but he can guard kind of 1 through 4 and maybe some small 5s. You don't really want to have him do that, but he could. So you have versatility on your team and you have more firepower, right? Because your offense was already great. You got a better offensive player. You've already been trending right on defense. He's already a proven defensive player. Looks like a great deal. Now, the caveat, of course, is you have to re-sign him in the offseason because he is a free agent, and you never know. But let's keep it a buck here. How many guys are going to Indiana? How many star players are going to Indiana? The answer is not very many. And it's a great basketball town, great basketball fan base, but it's just geographically, it's not LA, it's not Miami, and everybody understands that. So you have to go get your guys. So now they've got, half a season to, hey, this is why you should sign an extension here. You're going to play with Tyrese Haliburton, who's the best player you've played with since Kawhi Leonard, right? So you're going to really get a different opportunity here. And I think in Carlisle's fast-paced offense, Pascal is going to really kind of get back to what he was doing when he was younger. That rim running, you're going to see a different kind of version of him. It's going to be kind of a turn back the clock kind of thing because he's still super athletic, super, lengthy, fast, kind of can fit in all those categories. And with the addition of him, like the roster was already cool beforehand, don't get me wrong, but with the addition of Pascal Siakam, now that you have 2 all-star caliber players, like that gives you a chance in a lot of your games, and the roster in general is pretty good. Like they got some good depth pieces behind this. Obviously, you have best point guard in the Eastern Conference, Tyrese Haliburton. Then you have Pascal Siakam as your number 2, great. Then you have big man Miles Turner locking down the paint, splashing 3s, doing his thing. Ben Mathurin, after a slow start's been killing it. That's 4 guys that are really putting on. Buddy Hield can space the floor, can light it up, be your 6th man, whatever it is. That's 5 guys. Aaron Nesmith has been good in Indiana. He's really kind of shown I can play some defense and be your guy that goes out there and guards the other team's best player. So that's valuable. He's 6. Obi Toppin can provide that energy. He's had a good year at 7. Jalen Smith, 10 points and 5 rebounds off the bench and a backup big role. That's solid. You can't ask for much more. That's 8 guys right there. I haven't even mentioned Andrew Nembhard or TJ McConnell, who have stepped up tremendously in Tyrese Haliburton's absence. That's 9 and 10. We're at 10 guys. Then you have Isaiah Jackson, who I think, I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player, and on a lot of teams will get a lot of minutes. So you're 11 guys there. And then you have your first round lottery pick in Jarris Walker, who has shown some promise. Just this last game against the Jazz, granted they got blown out. I think he had 4 steals and 2 blocks. Defensive versatility, my man. This is what you like to see out of your young players. And, I mean, for the most part, all these guys are young. With the exception, Buddy Hield's older, Miles Turner's older, and Spicy P is turning 30 in April. But 30 isn't what it was 10, 15 years ago. You can get him 3-4 more great years out of Pascal, health permitting, of course. But they got a really nice team. And you've built it up now to where you have a chance to compete in the East at a legit level, because they could upset somebody. They could make something happen in the playoffs, especially with how lethal that offense is. I said it a while ago, if you're just even average on defense, they're going to be really, really hard to take down. They were already hard to beat when they weren't. So now it's, I think it's good. I like this team. I like what they've built. It's fun. The energy is kind of back in Indiana. I think a lot of that has to do with Tyrese Haliburton sparking it. But now you got a 1-2 punch. And you got great players, you got great role players around it that can really prove this team could be something. There's a lot of potential on the Indiana Pacers, and I think that's really all you can ask for. You traded some picks that were going to be in the mid-20s anyway. Who cares? Good for Toronto getting some picks for him. But I think it was a win-win. I think it was a win-win as of, immediately from the trade happening. But, of course, that could change. If he leaves in the offseason, we might look at it differently. But right now, you just enjoy the ride, get to the playoffs, and make some magic happen. But anyway, do you like the trade? Do you think Pascal Siakam on the Pacers is a good fit? I think it's an awesome fit. Let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you enjoy this kind of content, what are you doing? Please like the video. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Shout out the Indiana Pacers for making the first real big splash trade. This is what we needed. Can't wait for February for this trade deadline. It's going to be dope, but Spicy P is off the market.